Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be discussing a couple of Arsenal stories, the latest around the club. Dusan Vlahovic talks intensifying according to reports from Italy. We will be diving into that. What exactly is happening around Dusan Vlahovic? Why is it that on an every daily basis we get a new update but we never get any closer? Is there any opening? Is there something advanced with that story? We will be discussing that. We'll be discussing Saul Niguez and the possibility that the player could actually join Arsenal, facing problems at Chelsea, facing problems at Atletico Madrid. Arsenal could be a ground of redemption and a rescue center for Saul Niguez. I like him. Of course, everybody knows on this channel, I really rate Saul Niguez. We'll be diving into that. And of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is wanted by Barcelona and they're lining up a potential loan deal for the player. Doesn't make any sense for me for a player 1 year left on his contract to leave the club on a loan deal, but maybe that is the kind of frustration Arsenal have, and maybe that is the kind of despair Gabriel Martinelli is in. He needs a way out. We'll be discussing that. Gabriel Martinelli, what is the latest around his new contract? What exactly are we going to look at when we give him a new contract, and what is exactly, when is it going to actually happen? We'll be discussing all that in this video. EPL to continue as well. Make sure to smash a like on the video. That is a humble request I'm making to you. Subscribe to the channel as well for always get your updated Arsenal news on a daily basis. Transfer news, previews, and all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get our party started. We're sponsored by the beautiful people from Melbet. They're saying if you want to bet with them, if you want to bet on any games, Bundesliga, EPL, you want to bet on the Spanish Liga, make sure you do check out Melbet. Link is in the video description. They're sponsoring us for a period of 30 days. And of course, in order to support them as well as Cossy's Arsenal podcast, we should be betting with them. They have the best odds, around town. I will be giving you my verdict in that game when we play Sunderland, how you will be winning money at the end of this video. So make sure you do stick around and stick a like on the video as well. But for now, let's get the party started. So to begin the party, let's start off with talks between Fiorentina and Arsenal claimed to be advancing, claimed to be in very intense form. Now, according to reports I've seen, Calcio Mercato from Italy, they are saying that Arsenal and Fiorentina are now in massive talks. They are considering letting go of the player in January, and Arsenal do want to get the player in January. Talks are intensifying between the two clubs, but of course there is no change at the moment. There is no change being reported that there will be a change in interest for Dusan Vlahovic to join Arsenal. He's really not contented with staying at Fiorentina. We know that the player doesn't want to stay there. He wants a new challenge. I've already talked about that. And now talks intensifying between Fiorentina and Arsenal. Does it give us an advantage? Does it give us something to really hope about, to really think about as a positive? That is a very big question, because guys, think about it. When we talk about when we talk to Fiorentina, when we get their agreement, we can easily talk to the player. But if we cannot get the agreement between Fiorentina, because for me it might be the harder thing to do, despite the fact that the player is not yet settled, he's not yet actually made up his mind. He doesn't want to sign a new contract at Fiorentina, and he doesn't want to talk to any club. Newcastle, they are outrightly rejected by Vlahovic, and of course Arsenal as well. At the moment, there is no interest in Arsenal from the players' camp. So it is it really remains to be seen whether Vlahovic will be getting any interest in Arsenal. But at the moment, we are intensifying talks. We are moving closer and closer to an agreement between Fiorentina and us, in order to find at least that little thing to hold on to. If we can have that agreement with Fiorentina, it will be one job left, that is to get Vlahovic to agree to the project. And of course, we know why the player doesn't want to join at the moment. We've already spoken about it. He doesn't believe that there is something going on at Arsenal in terms of their project. He wants a club that is already in the Champions League. He wants a club that is already has already qualified for UCL. He wants a club that is competing for trophies. At the moment, Arsenal are not yet there, and it will be a very, very big job for us to get him to agree to the project we are actually really driving at the moment. Of course, that is the latest around Vlahovic. We are holding talks with Fiorentina. It is not yet enough. It is not yet really enough for us to get Vlahovic, but at least we are making all the initiatives. We are all making all the steps in the right direction to get the striker, scoring 35 goals already in one calendar year, breaking the record of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Serie A. He is something. Really, he is something. It would be very interesting to have a player like Vlahovic join the likes of Martinelli, join the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe, the likes of Odegaard, the likes of Saka. It's going to be really, really a massive project. But the question there is, can Arsenal get him to agree to like the project? Because 100% Mikel Arteta sticks to his to his demands and standards. He says if a player doesn't want to join our project, if a player is not 100% convinced about the project, they will not join us. It happened in the summer. Lautaro Martinez there, we wanted him. We were willing to to go as far as paying 70 million euros for the player, but according to Romano, the player did not believe in the project, was not 100% convinced that Arsenal has a project that is really, really fit for him, that is really good for him, and finally the deal actually didn't happen. So Vlahovic, come on, boy. Boy, oh boy, this project we are running at Arsenal is actually going to be fire. It's already getting underway. It's already developing. If we can have such a striker, when I look at his goals, when I look at his positioning, he's that kind of striker we want. We just need someone who scores the simple goals. We just need someone who is really serious about winning the Golden Boot. I think Vlahovic has got that potential to be competing for the Golden Boot in the Premier League. And of course, at the moment, we do not have so many prolific strikers in the league. Harry Kane, of course, is a very, very good striker. But if you think about Harry Kane, at the moment, he's not actually fighting for the boot. Jamie Vardy, as old as as I can compare. Of course, you have the likes of Mo Salah. I think this season it's going to be Mo Salah and either one of Manchester City's midfielders that actually competes for the Golden Boot. At the moment, the likes of Lukaku, the likes of Timo Werner, they're not really there. They're not actually fighting for the Golden Boot. And of course, if we had a striker this season fighting for this boot, they would have lots and lots of chances winning it. So Vlahovic to Arsenal, talks are intensifying. We are vigorously talking to Fiorentina. Let's wait and see what's going to happen out of that move. Of course, talking about players that could be coming in Arsenal is Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez, yesterday, it was reported that Arsenal are interested in getting in Saul Niguez. They look at him as a very, very big talent, as a potential player. Yes, he's already 27 years of age. He's really old, but we know how good he is and the quality he might add to this Arsenal side. Now, according to a couple of reports, that I've looked at, Saul Niguez is one of the midfielders that Arsenal will be trying to sign in January. After Fabrizio Romano coming out and saying that we want a midfielder, more and more names have actually added on the list of midfielders that we could be signing there in January. Of course, I said Arthur Melo, one of them. Now, Saul Niguez is the other. Now, I really, really love Saul Niguez. I love Arthur Melo. I've told you all the time that I would take 100%. I would take Arthur Melo at Arsenal because I know the quality, because I know how much he is good as a player. But talk about Saul Niguez. I think what Arthur Melo has failed to do, Saul Niguez has done. Proven himself to be one of the best players at the best levels, at the highest level in football, in the Champions League, in the Liga. I think his career at Atletico Madrid was really, really a success. Now, I can't explain, guys, how he comes to be, trash at the moment. I don't know how, he moves from Atletico Madrid on just a loan deal to Chelsea, only to be humiliated, only to be trashed by Chelsea. But what I can say, one or two comments, Saul Niguez is a classy player. Saul Niguez is a very, very good player. We do not have the qualities he possesses. We do not have the potential he possesses as a player. That midfielder that is really, really good in terms of dribbling the ball. That midfielder that is so good at getting in chances. Every game, he can make you 2 key passes, at least per game, and 2 big chances per 90. And of course, in terms of scoring goals, he is another man. He can give you around 8 goals per season. Of course, you're looking at your number 8 giving you 8 goals per season, and maybe your number 10 giving you 10 goals per season. Saul Niguez, for me, 100%, he is the man. The only problem we may be thinking about, Saul Niguez could be his age and the project that we are running. Arthur Melo, 25, Saul Niguez, 27, 28 there. Maybe that is the problem. That by the time this project, by the time the rest of this team actually develops into senior players, Saul Niguez will be a veteran. Maybe that's the only problem. Maybe that is the only point of concern. He's not injury prone. He's not, his form doesn't actually fluctuate. I think many Chelsea fans will say he's a disgrace. He's a very, very poor talent. He's a very poor player. But I think, honestly, at Chelsea, it has not worked out. At Real Madrid, at Atletico Madrid, it did work out, and of course, there we would be looking at getting in, a partnership between Partey and Saul Niguez. We've seen it at Atletico Madrid. It really worked out well. Saul Niguez as the 8, and of course, Thomas Partey as the DCM. Very, very interesting partnership there at Atletico Madrid. I would take Saul Niguez 100%. Let me know in the comments below, lads, if you would take Saul Niguez or Arsenal, and smash a like on the video if you feel like Saul Niguez is the ultimate midfielder that Arsenal need. Because for me, all the qualities that Renato has, all the qualities that Arthur Melo possesses, that man, Saul Niguez, possesses as an individual. He just needs a span of time to be a regular player. He just needs a place where he's gonna be appreciated as a talent, and then you will see what I mean by Saul Niguez being a very, very good player. And of course, honestly, in terms of pricing, that is the deal that Arsenal can do all day long, all night long. I mean, it's not going to be 20 million. It's not going to be 30 million. It could be as low as 15 million euros. Get him in there. Chelsea will let him go, probably. And of course, he's going to add that kind of squad depth that we are lacking at the moment, at Arsenal. And of course, with Partey away, El Neni away in January, you just need someone who gets in there and does his thing and does that thing that Partey gives us. Saul Niguez, for me, is that player. Let me know in the comments below whether you agree with me as well. Now, still talking about Spain and Arsenal. Barcelona are actually proposing a swap. That is a swap deal, a loan deal for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Ridiculous, isn't it? That should be the word that is in your head. But of course, it is not ridiculous compared, and of course, considering the factors at the club at the moment. Now, what is happening is that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is interested in Barcelona, and Xavi would love to get Aubameyang there at the Camp Nou. They have lost Sergio Aguero. Aguero will be an ambassador. He's taking up an ambassadorial role at Manchester City after, of course, leaving football at age 33. Now Barcelona, they need a striker. Memphis Depay has been the only source of goals for the club this season. They need someone. They need a player that can actually be adding to the tally of goals. Otherwise, they know they might not qualify for the Champions League. And now they are looking at Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and they are saying, Arsenal, please give us Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We will take him on a loan deal initially. Now, that is a deal that really works for Barcelona because they do not have the money right now to buy players. They do not have lots of money to spend, and of course, they do not have a striker that you think is lethal enough. If Aubameyang goes over to Barcelona, it will actually help him to forget all the problems he's facing at Arsenal. It will help him to concentrate on his career a little bit better. I think it's a good deal for Aubameyang. It's also a very, very good deal for Barcelona. But there, guys, in terms of Arsenal, it is not a good deal. No, not even once. It is not a good deal. It's a ridiculous one. It's a very, very ridiculous deal because Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is 33 years of age and he's left with 1 year left on his contract. If the last thing we want is loan him out, unless Mikel Arteta, Edu and Vinay are actually very sure that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has no future and is finished at Arsenal. But if not that, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, we should get some little money, at least 10 million, at least 15 million euros, at least 20 million euros, because I believe there is some money there in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But of course, I doubt we will get money from the sale of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, because at the moment, clubs are saying they will not be paying the salary he is getting at Arsenal. And of course, they are saying if they are going to be paying that salary, they will not be paying any money, any coins for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to take him away from Arsenal Football Club. They're really taking taking advantage of the situation. They know we are in a corner. We want the player out. We desperately want to discard Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And of course, they also know that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is in a very tight corner. Is placed between a hard place and a rock. He really wants to get out of prison. He really wants to get out of banishment. He really needs new greener pastures, and that's why many clubs like Inter Milan, Juve, PSG, Barca, all of them are coming and they're saying, give us the player on loan, because they know when you take Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on loan, his contract is about to expire. You will be paying either coins or nothing to get him on a permanent deal. So I think that is really good, a good business from Barcelona. For me, it will really depend on Arsenal. Do they really want Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to live on a free, or do they actually need to get at least 10 million, at least 5 million, even if it's 1 million euros from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? We will wait and see what's going to happen in that regard. Former captain, now in banishment. Absolutely ridiculous stuff there from Arsenal Football Club. But of course, guys, moving on, Gabriel Martinelli, as we speak about new players, as we speak about new signings, Martin Keown has actually come out and said Gabriel Martinelli is Arsenal's new signing, and he said if he can keep fit, if he can just keep fit, he is a new 50 million signing. And I could agree less. That guy is absolutely phenomenal. Of course, we know what Gabriel Martinelli is. Ben White has also come out and said that we always look at him, we always train him, with him, we always fear him. He is a very deadly player. He's a quality player. We are not surprised. Many people out there are really surprised with the quality of Gabriel Martinelli, and Ben White has said we are not surprised. He always trains like that. He always works very hard, and he's so lethal. He's very deadly, and the world being surprised is because they do not know him. But for us who train with him every day, it is not news. He is a very deadly player. Now, Martin Keown coming out and saying that Arsenal really do have a 50 million signing in Gabriel Martinelli. That is a huge comment for the young Brazilian, and I hope he can actually keep it, because again, Keown there speaking about the fact that Martinelli has a lot of injury issues, has a lot of injury problems, is not slander. It is absolutely true. Martinelli, can he stay fit? Can he stay fit for at least 10 games, at least 20 games? Because we know if he can stay fit, we know the quality, we know the potential he possesses as a young Brazilian player. And in the same light, guys, Arsenal have started to panic. With Gabriel Martinelli, his current contract runs down in 2024, but they want to extend it as early and as soon as possible. This is a wake-up call. That was a wake-up call. Scoring 4 goals in 6 matches, Gabriel Martinelli there writing a big statement on the Arsenal Colony Stadium that, look, I need a new contract, or else you will be battling with PSG, you will be battling with Madrid and Barcelona in order to make me stay. And of course, we've already made those mistakes. We've looked at the likes of Serge Gnabry. Just imagine if we had Serge Gnabry, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, and then just one player, Emile Smith-Rowe. Just imagine where we would be. Just imagine the quality, the amount of quality we would be possessing, and the potential of that squad. We will be looking at winning the title in the next 2 years. But of course, I'm really talking about Gabriel Martinelli as a mistake that we should not actually make. 2 years left on his contract. Get him to sign a new one as soon as possible. Arsenal are looking at giving him a new shirt number, like I discussed already. It could be shirt number 11. It could be shirt number 14. We are still waiting there to see which shirt number will he get. And of course, more money in his contract, and of course, a bigger release clause. I really do not believe in release clauses. But if Gavi, if Pedri do have 1 billion release clauses there at Barcelona in their contracts, Martinelli should have 1 billion as well. Saka should have 1 billion release clause, and of course the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe, they should have billions of release clauses, just to be sure that no one can actually come in there to tamper with our talent. Did you remember Aston Villa coming there disgracefully with a lot of disrespect, and they said 40 million for Emile Smith-Rowe? This moment, they do not have a player that is really performing at the level of Emile Smith-Rowe. Really, we need to wake up. Martinelli is one player that we need to give a contract as soon as possible. But of course, guys, to provide you with the latest around the league and also what is happening, in other tournaments that we're actually participating in. The FA Cup have actually, scrapped off or removed what you would call the return legs of, in the third and fourth rounds of the cup. Now, what was happening is that when you make a draw, or when you, when you play a draw on the third round or fourth round of the FA Cup, you have a return leg to decide who actually qualifies for the next round. Now, that has been scrapped. That has been disqualified. When you play a draw, when a game ends in a draw, it will be decided in extra time and penalties. So that is a very, very good thing, because games are really so many, and some of them are so irrelevant. If I was a writer, I would call that just needless words and clutter. But obviously, let us look at that as a very, very big opportunity for clubs like Arsenal who do not have big squads. That is a massive help to such squads. And obviously the Premier League have decided that the festive season fixtures, guess what I'm gonna say, they will be standing. They will be played. Of course, a couple of clubs, including Chelsea, crying because they made a 0-0 draw with Wolves. They're shouting, all over London. We had won our game. We were resting, and of course, we were listening to a lot of noise from Chelsea. We shouldn't have played this game. The game should have been cancelled. So, according to the Premier League, a couple of clubs, majority of the clubs, did decide that the festive season fixtures should remain. That means we'll have a game against Norwich on Boxing Day, and that means we shall have a game on the 28th there, versing Wolves. And of course, on the 1st of January, we will be versing Manchester City. And of course, what a way to begin the year, because that will mean that we will have to get big results in that January transfer window, in that January month, in order to stay up there. But what I can confirm is that the games will stand, despite the fact that clubs actually registering numbers of cases of COVID. The games in the festive season will actually stand. So what I can confirm there is that Lokonga and Mari being infected will not affect Arsenal's games. We will continue to play. But of course, tougher guidelines have been put in place. Players will be checked almost on a daily basis, and even on the day where they are going to be playing football, they will have to be cross-checked to see whether they are free from the virus. So that is the latest around the Arsenal Football Club and the Premier League and the FA Cup. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Let me speak to you in the next one.